Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to episode 7 of the Real Estate Talk. I'm Abel Mansur.
This is Burhan Khan.
And today we have a very special guest. We have Imran here with us from Pillar to Post Home Inspections. How you doing, Imran?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Brian, how's your weekend, man? How was everything?
Everything is good, man. We just had a little rain this week, but now it's a beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, it is. How was the rain treating you as far as the weekend?
Rain or shine, we're working, doing inspections, going in the crawl space, going into the attic. So we're good.
That is awesome. Actually, for your line of business, the rain is kind of better, right?
Exactly.
Because you can kind of pick out, hey, there's a leak here, or instead of that dry attic, if you see some water, you know exactly what the issue is.
Exactly, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's interesting because whenever it rains, that's what we look for in a home inspection. So tell us, Imran, let's say you had a home inspection today. It rained all week. What are you going to look for? Or take us through a home inspection in that regards.
Okay. All right. So basically, rain, when we always say to our clients as well, they ask us question that, okay, well, it's raining, let's reschedule the inspection or something of that sort. We always tell them that the rain helps us identify because water is the main source of creating problems in the house. We look for when it rained the whole week. Okay, it'll help us identify where the moisture water is accumulating next to the foundation, whether any flashings are failing, whether any chimneys are leaking. Mostly all the exterior components of the house will be in a better position to assess them for any potential failures.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a little bit about you and your business. So how long have you been in the business? What exactly do you guys specialize in, and what area are you guys located in?
Yeah. So we service all of Northern Virginia.
Okay.
All right. Our company's name is Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and my team is Imran Qillawala team. All right. We have a number of inspectors in our team, and we specialize in doing home inspections for real estate transactions. All right. When we say home inspections, we not just do home inspections, we provide them all the additional services that you might need during a real estate transaction. So additional services include, radon testing, which is very common, which is used very frequently. We also do termite inspections. We also do mold testings, chimney inspections. We do well inspections as well. A lot of people call us for checking out their well, make sure that the casing is good, make sure the water quality is good as well. So we do that too.
Awesome.
So we have a full suite of services available.
And how long have you been in business?
Yeah. So I got into this business about 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Okay.
And it has been such a phenomenal journey since then. The important thing is that how much you got exposed to in terms of houses. So we've done thousands and thousands of home inspections, and I've been to several thousands of attics and crawl spaces as well. So it's been a great learning experience so far.
I don't know how you do that, Imran. If I go in an attic, I'm always worried. I'm just gonna fall down and hurt myself.
Funny story. So in one of my properties, I needed to get contractor were up there. I seen some water leaking in my wall, so I had him go up there. He went up to the attic, got up there, and ended up his feet fell right through.
Yeah.
And they had to repair that whole thing. Like he was a heavier set guy. Maybe he should have walked a little lighter.
Yeah.
But he got in there and his feet fell right through. And I mean, I took pictures of it. They took care of it. But you have situations where you kind of worry when you're up there.
So with regards to attic, obviously attic inspection is very, very important. Not just because you will be able to identify whether the roof is failing or if there's any water coming in. It also helps us identify how old the roof shingles are. Let's say if your home is like 30 years old, right? And we are inspecting the shingles from outside. We see that these are like newer shingles from outside, but really the final conclusive statement that we will be making is after the inspection of the attic, because you'll be able to see abandoned nail holes on the plywood. Okay, will be able to to look at the nails. Okay, see the condition of the nails. If the nails are shiny, new, then you will be able to come to a decision that, okay, this is a second roof to the house. So putting that information into your mind and looking at the shingles from outside, you can easily say, okay, the shingle is 5 years old, 10 years old, or however. And that's a critical information for a home buyer, because they want to know how old the roof shingles are.
Yeah.
Because shingles are just like tires, as UV lights fall on them, they start losing granules, and the rain comes, bring those granules down, and that's what causes their shingles to deteriorate.
Yeah, which is an awesome thing that you guys do as well, because I've got a home inspection done with you guys. Is they provide a service where they'll do the home inspection, but they'll also give you an estimate on what it would take to fix all the things and issues that they found, and I thought that was real interesting.
Yeah, it's a very great. It's a service that is unique to us as a pillar to post, and it's available to all of our clients. So we don't charge anything extra or anything like that. So somebody is moving, somebody doesn't have a contractor in that specific area, can use that service, and that service available for real estate agents and clients to get an estimate for repairs of the items that the home inspectors identified. So it helps them negotiate as well as a real estate agent and the buyer.
Yeah. And I think one of the great things is when you do that home inspection, and we have those home inspection contingencies, when we give that and present that to our clients and say, hey, look, these are all the issues that they found. It's going to cost this much to repair that. Are you still interested in going into it? So I really appreciated that, because I use that in my negotiating get at least half of those things repaired. And then we're like, okay, if they can take care of these major things, then we can go ahead and take care of the little minor ones, and it won't hurt our pocket.
Yeah. So Burhan has done so many inspections. I've worked like directly with him as well. I've done. He's been doing inspections probably the time that I started to do inspections. The thing that I was wanting to point out is that we take inspections as time to educate the client. All right, we're not here to create a list of defects. Right, and I'm sure Burhan and Abel, you'll agree to that. We are there to interact with the client and educate them about the condition of the house, because there's no house that's perfect.
Yes.
All right, so there's no house that's perfect. So we want to educate them. These are the areas, vulnerable areas. These are the areas that are defective right now, and pay attention to this, and you can monitor this and repair this later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Exactly, and a lot of times buyers, what happens is they get a little fearful. But that's not how to approach it. Toward the end, you do a great job, Imran, and your team on educating them on what they need to do. One example is, let's say the windows are deteriorating, they're getting foggy. Well, they can replace it, and you give them the exact instructions on what they need to do. So you guys do a great job of providing them instructions and the booklet on what they need to do to fix, whether it's the windows or the roof or whatever part of the house needs repairs.
So with that service that Abel was mentioning, what it does is it provides them more information. So our idea is to provide our clients as much information possible so that they can make confident home buying decision. That's everything that we do is based on that main concept. So if we are providing them information about how much it's going to cost to repair a foggy window, and these are estimates, so they will be able to make a decision more confidently. Won't you agree with that?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right? So whatever we do is revolve around that focus. Yeah. That we want to provide them as much information possible so that our clients can make a confident home buying decision.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
A question I have for you. So a lot of people, your services obviously is when someone's trying to buy a home or commercial. Do you do commercial as well?
Yeah, like commercial.
Okay, so
like commercial. Yeah.
A person that owns a home and they're getting ready to sell their home or put their home on the market, how would you advise them to prepare for that transaction? So what are the main things that you essentially look for when you're going into a home inspection to make sure that, okay, let's make sure this is done, or inspect these things?
Great.
So before someone puts their house on the market, what are some things that you would advise that they should prioritize and taking care of?
This question that you've asked me, a lot of that is is connected to the realtor, right? Because the realtor is the consultant who is providing them information and telling them what needs to be done. Our role comes into the functionality of the house. So we're not focused on the cosmetic, as per se, cosmetic condition of the house. We are focused on the functionality and functionality of the house. So we'll highlight, if you're doing a pre-listing inspection, we will highlight the condition and the age of the HVAC system. We'll highlight the condition and the age of the roof, furnace, water heater. Okay, we will highlight the condition of the attic space, and highlight the condition of the structural component. And obviously everything else that goes with it. We will do the inspection the same way as we do during a real estate transaction. It's just that we will highlight the age-related information about the house so that the new buyer will have that information at their fingertips.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Another question we wanted to ask was, one of the services you mentioned you provided was a radon test. How significant is that? Because a lot of times buyers don't want to pay an additional fee, but especially if a 3-level townhouse, let's say, has a basement.
Yeah.
How significant is it for you to do a radon test on that property?
So I would say that every house should be tested for radon. All right, every house, regardless of what the condition is.
Even if it doesn't have a basement, you should still do a radon.
You should still do a radon testing. And the reason is that the newer construction that you've started to see, or even if the houses are constructed on slab, these houses are constructed with draft blocks, constructed with insulation outside, caulkings everywhere. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create our houses more energy efficient. And because of that, we don't tend to let a lot of air to come from outside. And that creates an environment inside that causes the radon to increase. Okay, EPA's got a lot of information about radon available, but especially if you have sleeping quarters on the first floor or in the basement, you should always get the house tested for radon. And radon mitigation system is not very expensive, so it's not like it's going to cost you a lot of money to put a vent fan. It's just a matter of knowing that you have a higher radon level and install that radon ventilation system.
And just so all the viewers know, what can happen if they do have a high radon inside the property? What are the consequences of that?
So radon is a gas which is byproduct of uranium. So it's a carcinogenic gas, radioactive gas, which decays into particles which will bind with the blood cells in your lungs. When you breathe it in, it binds with it, and they react into creating cancer cells. To create cancer cells, and there are 21,000 people die every year, according to EPA's website. It be due to radon contamination, and every house should be tested for radon. We highly recommend. This is not an expensive test, and during a real estate transaction, we follow NRSB guidelines. NRSB is National Radon Safety Board, so our devices are all certified by them. We go through trainings and certifications from them as well, and our technicians go through that too. So there's going to be somebody putting in the radon in the house to the lowest livable space, and we will expose the radon sensors for 48 hours, come back, retrieve it, and let you know what the radon level is. If the radon level is over 4 picocuries per liter, then you should get a radon mitigation system installed. These are all the standards defined by EPA. So if it's less than that, then you're okay. But the weather does have some effect on it. So even if you are at 3, I would recommend putting a radon mitigation system, because you are so close. But yeah.
And does that have to do with levels of the house, or does age factor in it? Is the house is built before 19 something, or are the newer houses the same effect as well?
Lots of questions in there.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have a house, like if you're living in an apartment, right, and you're like 2 floors above, first of all, keep in mind that the radon exists everywhere. It's outside as well as inside. It's just that inside is problem because it has a stack effect. So you build up the radon level inside because you're not mixing up outside air too much. Okay, because during when you live in a cold environment, you tend to keep your windows closed and keep circulating the air inside. So that's the reason why the radon contamination is more in Northern Virginia. In Virginia and all the northern part of the country. Having said that, that doesn't mean that the lower section of the country doesn't have it. There is a map available on the website that tells you where the radon level is red and where is orange and where is yellow. Okay. So with regards to your question, we will always going to test the lowest livable space. All right. So there can be basement, that can be slab. All right. If you're living on the second floor, it's highly unlikely for you to have a lot of radon contamination risk. Okay. But again, EPA says all the houses should be tested. I would recommend get that tested too. All right. Now, older and newer. Older houses, so let me tell you where the radon comes into the house. Most of the radon contamination happens from the basement slab and the expansion joints that are in the basement. So as the house ages, those cracks develop and there are gaps on the slab, and that's where the radon starts coming in. All right. And the expansion joints open up as well, and you have more radon contamination. So having said that, older houses will have, I cannot say that higher probability, but there is possibility.
They're more likely because of just the age and the time that.
Exactly. Now the newer houses, because they are built so tight with all the draft blocks, all the caulkings. If you look at the pre-drywall home, you'll start seeing that what is this builder doing? Every single stud joints are caulked, every opening is caulked. So they're trying to seal up the house, all right? So that creates a stack effect. So if the radon is coming less, but because there's not enough air coming from outside, it just builds up. So every house should be tested for radon.
So that leads to my next question. I help a lot of buyers buy brand new houses by builders. How critical is the pre-drywall inspection before they put up the drywall in brand new houses that are newly built?
Yeah, so think of it like this, that if you have a broken bone, and the bone is going to stay broken, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So basically, when we're doing pre-drywall inspection, we are inspecting the structural component of the house. So in the real world, when you're purchasing a home, homes are built by a builder, right? You go to a builder and book a home. But actually, the builder is a manager of that property. And they hire subcontractors who do all the construction. And the builder has a quality control guy, builder has a management, they provide supplies and things like that. But a lot of the work is done by the subcontractors. And that's where a subcontractor who's a plumber doing a plumbing work in your house, maybe the framing guy did a fantastic job and everything went well, but a plumber came in and they, by accident or by negligence, they broke a stud or they over-notched a joist. They damaged a cord of a joist, and the builder may have not seen it. Okay, he may have looked at the framing before the plumber went and did the plumbing. So our job is to represent our clients to make sure that if there's any defect like that has come evident during the construction, we will go and identify it.
And that's an excellent point. They overlook it. They're not doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
But unless you get the pre-drywall inspection done, they're not going to fix it. And the builder is going to be more than happy to fix it.
Yeah. So don't take it that we are there to bring the builder down.
Yeah.
Most of the builders who are reputable, they'll appreciate our work. They always appreciate our work. Whenever we identify something, they will fix it. If there is something that needs to be fixed, they will fix it. And most of the time, this is my experience that, during the pre-drywall inspection, if anything's identified, I've had situations where they've put additional joists. They have put new shingles, repaired shingles, replaced sections of the roof. I've had situations like that the plumbing was out of grade, out of slope. They redid the plumbing. And the builders appreciate that because they also want to give a quality product. They don't
Yeah.
want any customer to be unsatisfied.
Because it's long term. They need a
yeah.
reputable brand.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
So you find some radon in someone's property or high levels of radon. What is the immediate fix that you would tell them to do, or is there what would they need to do to alleviate that? That's not to say, hey, these radon levels are high, don't buy this house. It's fixable, right? So what's the immediate thing that they would need to do if they have high levels of?
So to summarize to give that answer very briefly, there are companies that do radon mitigation system. They install them, and every house, whether it has a crawl space, whether it has a slab, whether it has a basement, big basement, small basement, every house those systems can be installed in any type of construction. So they'll put up a ventilation fan. Basically what the idea is that they will provide a negative pressure underneath the slab, and that negative pressure, what it'll start doing is, rather than letting the radon gas go out through the cracks, it'll start getting directed towards that pipe, and they will come and seal the visible section of the basement. For example, seal the expansion joints with a rubber caulking. They will, if there are any cracks on the slab, they'll seal those as well. Sometimes the radon ventilation systems are installed inside the sump pit, wherever the sump pumps are easily available. That's a very common area where they put radon ventilation system. Sometimes they'll drill a hole and they'll put about 2 or 3 inch pipe and attach a fan with it, which will start directing the air out.
Right.
So that's fixable very easily.
Very fixable.
Yeah.
So moving away from radon, what are other common things that you find when you do these home inspections? And let's make it specific to where we're at, right? So in the Northern Virginia area, what are some things that are common that people can look out for? Obviously, when you do the home inspection, you'll catch those. But if someone is currently living in their home and they're like, what are some things that they can look at and be like?
Yeah. So like I said, our inspections are educational, right? So my goal is to educate the client, okay, about the condition of the house, all right? When I do trainings for home inspectors, all right, the first thing I tell them is, what is the product that you're selling? The product that we sell is called peace of mind. All right. If you educate and provide enough information to the home buyer, they will have that confidence. They will have that peace of mind. Having said that, our inspections are made up of 3 major components. All right. So one component of the report that we will generate for our clients is made up of defects, deficiencies, deteriorations, damages, improper build, or safety concern. Second component is age-related information. So we'll tell you how old your roof shingles are, we'll tell you how old your HVAC system is, and give you an approximate idea of the life expectancies of them. All right. And then the third component is maintenance and recommendation items. So to answer your question, I think if we focus on these 3 components, they will have a full, clear picture of the house. So any defect, like a water-related defect, age-related defect, all of that is going to be listed in the report. Yeah.
What I used to do, so on one of my properties, I had a home inspector. Unfortunately, it was in Michigan, so you didn't do it. But I kept that paper, right? So I would just go through the list. I had the seller fix whatever they were gonna fix and what they agreed to. Then after that, I just started going through the book and saying, okay, this is the most concerning thing. Let me get this fixed right away, and then just use that as a rule of thumb. So for a lot of people, I know it was a little bit difficult in these last couple of years because people were waiving their home inspections.
Oh my God, yeah.
But it is such an important thing to have because it's kind of like a guidebook to your house, right? So if you want to grow the value of the house or maintain it, you actually have information of somebody that went and picked it with a fine-tuned comb, and you can start addressing some of those issues, or you can start knowing, okay, because let's be honest, right? People will tell you, yeah, no, that roof has about 12, 15 more years in it, when in reality it has 4 to 3 years. So if you know that kind of information, you can start planning. You can start putting a little bit away. You say, hey, Imran said that this roof has 3 years old. Let me start putting $50 away.
We don't put those kind of numbers. We want to give you a general idea.
Yeah.
So like if the roof appears to be at the beginning of service life, so we'll tell them, because you cannot predict whether the roof is going to last you another 10 years or 15 years. Yeah, if you have a lot of leaves falling on the roof, there's algae growing, you're not paying attention to the roof, you're not cleaning up gutters. All right, and if there's any hail damage or a lot of storms in your neighborhood, you are going to lose your roof sooner. Again, keep this home inspection. All right, home inspection inspector is just like a nurse. All right, he's looking at you in its totality, he's looking at the house in its totality and provide you and letting you know, the pulse is too fast. Let's get it checked out by a structural engineer or something like that. I'm trying to create an analogy right here. So it's all general.
Yeah, not to say you're going to give a specific time frame, but you'll say this is a good life of the roof, or
average. This is what you should expect. Okay.
Which is what I meant. Not to say a dial down time.
I do take a moment. I do correct whoever is whenever it becomes too specific. No, it's not like that. I want to create a picture.
Yeah. So I guess the reason why I said that is to bring awareness to a concern or to an issue. So if during these last couple of years of people been waiving their inspections, they don't have that awareness or that knowledge of information that they can always go back into. He sends it in PDF form. You can print that out and just start going through that.
And it's available to you for very, very long period of time. It's available on our portal.
In one of our previous podcasts, me and Abel were talking about it. If you have a house that was built in, let's say, 1950, but it looks like it's almost brand new, that means the owner's been taking care of it. Whereas if you have a house built 10, 20 years ago, but it looks like, it's 200 years old. Yeah. And that's where a home inspector, Imran, can come into play, because he can tell you in his general sense, like the analogy you brought up, you're like a nurse, you're doing blood tests, you're doing other x-rays. He can tell you whether or not that property does have these major issues before you make the major decision. Otherwise, you don't know whether or not the roof is going to leak going into the future.
And to me, it's the craziest thing, Imran. It's the biggest purchase that you're going to make in your life, and you're waiving home inspection. It's it's kind of crazy to me that and it made me think of what you said. If people are making emotional purchases, they fall in love with the house so much that they just see the exterior, but they don't get those inspections. And honestly, for me, I'm wary of people that. So the other day, I had a lady that was interested in a condo, and I called the agent, and he's like, if she's not gonna waive the home inspection and the appraisal contingency, don't even have her. Don't waste your time showing her the house. And that's a red flag for me, right? If someone's telling me don't do a home inspection, it's like, okay, what are you trying to hide? So for everyone that's out there that's being so emotionally shopping when they're buying a home and they're considering to waive an inspection, don't.
You need the inspection.
Just know what is needed to be done so that you can at least have a guide of what your house condition is. I mean, I can't stress how much people are so stuck up on, I want this house and I'm going to waive everything. And I've been victim of it during the last couple of years. Like the home we waived it because, again, we were emotionally shopping. But I'm in a different position to where I do this for a living every day. So I kind of know the things to look out for. But someone who's an average Joe on the road, don't do that, right? I mean, what do you feel about that?
No, absolutely. Doing an inspection is very important part of home purchases. Again, you want to know, you want to be educated, you want to know what the condition of the house is, and hopefully there's nothing wrong with the house. All right, we're not making an assumption that the house is in bad shape, right? We are making an assumption that it should be in a good shape.
Yeah, correct.
So. It's all about education. I think that sums it up very, very well. It's the same way, if somebody goes out and wants to purchase a home and being represented by nobody. Yeah. This is like crazy. You're purchasing, this is the most expensive item that you're going to purchase in your life, and you're not being represented properly or not a very reliable realtor to represent you. So
because honestly, your services is what can determine somebody from saying, "Hey, I want to make this investment," or I'm gonna end up going into it. I know I have to spend at least 30,000.
That's why we take our time. We are very critical. The people that we partner up with, the people we work with, as far as the real estate agents are concerned, we want to work with reputable, busy professionals. Yeah. Right. We don't want to work with
H2IL properties.
Yeah. Shameless plug. H2IL properties right there. These guys are amazing. So yeah, it's very important that we represent our real estate agents properly. All right. And the real estate agents also have a reputation. We don't want them to create wrong impressions, wrong expectations to the clients as well. We want to be partnering up with reputable people.
One more thing I wanted to ask regarding the list you gave at the beginning of the video, termite inspection. A lot of times buyers and sellers have an argument who's going to pay for it, and then they end up saying, oh, no one paid for it, let's just waive it. Why is it critical to get a termite test done on your house, the WDI?
So termite inspections are very, very important. We have seen with Northern Virginia about 3 to 4 houses. In fact, approximately 4 houses out of 10 that we inspect for termites, you will have termite activity. Previous or current, it all depends, but there was some termite activity. So it's very important that the house should be treated for termites so that you don't have any structural failure or something of that sort. And the termite treatments are so reliable and they're long lasting as well, that if there is any activity around the house, a lot of that activity can be controlled by treating the perimeter of the house properly. Okay. And with regards to the importance of termites are wood-boring, wood-eating insects. When we do termite inspections, we not just look at the subterranean termite activity, we also look for carpenter bee activity, because carpenter bee drill holes on wood framing. We also look for carpenter ant activity. Carpenter ants are very, very commonly seen everywhere. They also drill holes through studs and joists. And then we also look for powder post beetles. They drill very, very thin holes on joists and woods, and they eat wood as well. So we do all of those things when we're doing a termite inspection. So it's very, very important to get it done.
Exactly, and that's
and with regards to paying, Burhan, with regards to paying for it, we are very flexible with our clients. If you book a termite inspection along with a home inspection, you can pay it. The buyer can pay it. If you want it to be paid at the closing, you can do that as well, and we can put it in our system that it's going to be paid later.
Exactly, and I wanted to emphasize that because these days buyers think, oh, it's not a big deal, let's just get the home inspection, and they think it's included, and they just want to focus on the home inspection and just disregard the termite. When in fact, what if you do have issues in the house as far as wood destroying insects and you overlook it?
So
but one thing I would like to make a point. I know I'm interrupting you, but I do want to make a point, and that is, when we're doing a home inspection, and if there's a damage caused by wood boring insects or wood destroying insects, we think that it's important for us to bring it to the client's attention. So we will put it in the report as well, whether you've requested for termite inspection or not. But if we see any activity, we will. In most cases, we will put them in the report.
And that's free pretty much. Yeah, they're doing it on the house.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's great information to have. So in the Northern Virginia area, what would you say when you get in home inspection, get these 2 or 3, 4 other items also done in your inspection? Because it's just like you said, 4 out of 10 homes. That's I want that every time. I'm gonna moving forward. I'm gonna tell my clients, I get it, because if I do 10 transactions in a month, 4 of them are gonna have termites essentially.
Half.
So that's almost, so it's very crucial. So if you were to say, when you go in getting a home inspection, get these things done as well, what?
It's a very difficult question. It all depends on the customer, on the client, home buyer's concern. Okay, all the services that we have are all designed to, like I said, to provide peace of mind, right? So we have mold testing, we have radon testing, we have well inspection, we have water quality analysis, we have air quality analysis, we have all of these services available. Now, we have several different packages available too. Yeah. So if you go with our Plus package, you get a full inspection, okay, a visual inspection of the house. Then if you go with a premium inspection, that's also a visual inspection of the house, but the addition is that you get a few additional things. And the additional things is that our inspectors, and I am certified and experienced to do a thermal scan of the house. And thermal scan is using an infrared camera to scan the exterior walls and the ceilings underneath bathrooms and kitchens to identify if there's any latent moisture defect, anything that's slowly leaking or something like that. It will show up in the thermal camera. So that's part of our premium package. We also have a very unique thing that we have made it part of our premium package, and that is to create an interactive inspection report. So let's say if one of your clients are not attending an inspection, which we encourage that everybody should, if they're not attending the inspection, they can go with the premium package, and that will create an interactive report. An interactive report is basically creating a 360-degree tour of the house, and the report is going to be laminated or superimposed on top of that tour. So if there's a defect on your entrance door, and that defect is going to be listed on that picture of that 360-degree picture about that defect on the entrance door in the picture that we take at the entrance. So it's a great way to get a full overview of the home from the inspection perspective when we go with that.
You know what I thought was really cool when you said that? And this might be something $1 million idea, so let me get my commission when this gets said and done, right? So you know how when you go into homes and you can do like a 3D tour? Can you imagine if your inspectors were a camera and you give 3D tours as part of your package? I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be.
If you start doing that, Imran, I should expect a check in the mail, okay?
There we go.
That's a great idea. Yeah, put a camera and then create a video. It's gonna be a three-hour video. 3-hour video,
but you know, someone can always be like, "Oh, I remember when he did that."
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. So you do offer packages.
Yeah, and then third package is our prestige package. Prestige package is people who are concerned about the allergies. If they're moving into a new home and there's a carpet or there's a couch, or check out the air quality. So we have that package, prestige package, where we will collect the samples from inside the house and provide you. It's a very thorough exam test created by EPA called the Moldiness Index, and we will provide you that report. So it's a very comprehensive report that provides you allergens like from roach insect parts, pet allergens and things like that.
Also, you do lead inspections as well too. So the reason I ask is I wanted to, again, I refer back to what I do, right? So I wanted to get carpet put into my upstairs part of my house in Michigan, and in order for the company to come do it, since it was the age of the house was a certain age, they needed a lead. So can someone, if they're having plans to do that, essentially use your reports to say, hey, we've gotten these inspections?
So we don't incorporate lead into the home inspection report because
is it part of the packages or
no? So it's very regulated in Virginia. Okay, so state of Virginia, you have to have a special license and special equipment to do a proper lead testing. So we have one of our inspectors is licensed, and we have an XRF analyzer. XRF analyzer is a radioactive analyzer that we use to do a comprehensive lead inspection. And we will provide you with a certificate and telling you where the lead is high and where the lead is below the required level. So lead can be tested by a lab when you chip up section and send it to the lab, and they'll give you a result on that. But we have stayed away from that because we are focused on real estate transactions. We don't start chipping taking samples and sending to the lab.
Yeah.
So we have this very, very expensive equipment and that we use, and we will provide you a full comprehensive lead report.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What's the craziest inspection you've done? You know, give me crazy inspection, you know. Like whether you want to talk about, you know, $5 million property with the pool, 10 acres, or, you know, this crazy adventure you had on the inspection.
Yeah, I do remember one inspection that I did in Maryland. All right. It was right next to the bay. I really forgot the name of the town, but that inspection just stuck with my head. It was a beautifully constructed home, a custom-built home with a gated entrance, automatically gated entrance with a driveway, which was like maybe 2 minutes of drive to get to the house. Beautiful home, very nice home, but terrible condition. Yeah, it had maybe like a $50,000 chandelier, but the water was dripping
from the chandelier.
Yeah. It took me almost the whole day. And Burhan, I know you were with the, I don't want to say the name of the brokerage, but the previous brokerage that you were with, one of the realtors from that brokerage got me to do that inspection.
Interesting.
And, oh my God, it was I would say that was the house that was a nightmare. It was a flat roof. I went on the roof. The roof was spongy. And it was not an old house as well. It was like maybe like 15 or 18 years old home.
Yeah.
If somebody neglected the house, the vines were growing everywhere, and that caused the moisture to stay and started to deteriorate. When and there were balconies, and the framing was deteriorated. I mean, the balcony was leaning in one direction.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took me the whole day to document, write, explain, and everything. And believe it or not, guys, this guy bought the house, refurbished it, and I saw it. It looked beautiful. So my point by emphasizing on the last statement is that in a real estate transaction, there are so many different components that come in play. Location, pricing, the type of construction, whether it fits your family or not. All of those things are important. And of course, home inspection is important too. But you can make a decision based on just a home inspection, right, in a real estate transaction. So for real estate agents, it's very important that people who think that a home inspection a home inspector will kill my deal, it's not like that. We are just one component of everything that's happening.
Else.
Correct, and I love that Imran emphasized that because, you know, they think home inspections will kill the deal. Let's waive the home inspection, but that's not the case. It's very critical, and it's to educate the buyer so they know exactly what to expect in the house so they can take care of it. And if they take care of the house, their house's value will increase substantially over the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah. That house was amazing. Italian tiles on the floor, chandeliers after chandeliers. The partition of the house had these big sliding doors, so you can create a bedroom and remove that bedroom. Becomes all entertainment area.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was amazing.
What what are some things so let's say someone that's watching us today here wants to get into the field of being a home inspector? What is it licensing that's required? What are the steps to become a home inspector if they wanted to?
So if you're in Northern Virginia, you're in Northern Virginia, Manassas, Prince William County, Fairfax County, or Loudoun County, you should contact us.
Yeah, we'll get you. There you go. So if you're interested in getting into the market and becoming a home inspector, hit up Imran.
Yeah.
With that note, how can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, so we have a website and we have our office phone number. Our office number is 703. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
703-665-1193. There's an office coordinator that picks up the phone all the time. You can call us and we'll be happy to help in any way we can.
And the website?
Website is imranq.pillartopost.com. Imran Q is the first letter of my last name. So imranq.pillartopost.com.
And we'll put all that in the link below. So if you are interested in either A, getting a home inspection, or B, even, joining Imran's team, just hit that link below and contact Imran. Tell them that Abel and Burhan sent you. Well, on that note, I really want to thank you for coming in and just kind of giving us a little bit of insight Ron, I don't know if you have some closing words to
If
say.
I ever become a home inspector, I want to join your team, Imran.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. It's always pleasure to work with a winning team right here. It's amazing. These guys are growing so fast. The number of transactions, the number of inspections that we do, it's amazing. So thank you again. Thank you guys. Thank you both of you.
Thank you, Imran. It was a pleasure.
This is a long relationship that we're building here, and we definitely want to know that when you come to H2I, we're going to have nothing but the best of people in each field that we deal with.
Exactly.
My name is Abel.
My name is Burhan.
And this is the Real Estate Talk with Abel and Burhan.
And Imran.
And Imran today. Have a good one, guys. See you next week.
Take care.
Bye.